Fuck that. When did mediocrity and banality become a good image for your children? I want my children to listen to people who fucking rocked! I don't care if they died in puddles of their own vomit! I want someone who plays from his fucking heart!
So back when your boy's balls were just starting to drop, every day after school I used to go to my room, lock the doors, turn off the lights, put my speaker on full volume and blast songs from this band Tool, trying my hardest to sing along, screaming like a chimp on horse tranquilizers, singing and dancing like a drunk tart, throwing temper tantrums. I did not care that my voice gave up in mere minutes. For me, it was a way to cope with stupid teachers, bullies with more chromosomes than me, first loves falling apart, and me looking up what existential crisis meant, realizing I had that shit in spades. But Tool was so much more than just a hard cope for me. As artists, there is always that one piece of media you stumble upon in your early years that becomes a sort of gateway to everything else. Something that fills you with so much awe and wonder that you are compelled to understand more and more of it. And through that understanding, you start taking what might be your first baby steps towards having any sense of artistic literacy. Through that understanding, you realize what being passionate and creative is about. Tool was the first time I was passionate about something. And through that passion, I understood what it meant to be a creative person, what it meant to be bold. Perhaps for the first time, my smooth brain started looking like fingers dipped in a wet place for too long. It was like gaining consciousness again. It was like maybe gaining it for the first time. Art started to make sense. Van Gogh started to make sense. Kojima started to make sense. Tarantino, Mobius, Beethoven, Beksinski, Hicks, Hideaki Anno, Repin, Carlin, pre-Me to Louis C.K., even post-Me to Louis C.K. for that matter, started to make sense. And for me, Tool was the precursor to all this. This was the first time I was hearing and seeing passion, creativity, and boldness, and I was fucking hooked. I remember spending hours and hours researching every forum, every reference, every story, every meaning in this song.
So we need you to find a comfortable space that's not only comfortable, but vulnerable. I want you to shut your eyes and go there, and we'll meet you on the other side.
Imagine going through a life watching shows, listening to music, reading stories, and having this feeling that everything is made up of the same derivative bullshit, the same tasteless hero with the same 1,000 stupid faces. But once in a long, long while, something comes up which is so primal, raw, and also so spiritual and transcendent in its artistry that nothing is same after that. Everything you would consume afterwards automatically becomes mid in comparison. These works of art push us to be a bit more bold, energetic, weird, a bit more honest and vulnerable in our works. And Tool was that for me. Through their music, I understood the meaning of metaphors, imagery, symbolism, wit, honesty, boldness, and maybe meaning itself. Through their music, I realized everything I produced needed to be playfully bold and nothing short.
We don't doubt this. No one is gayer than I am, but some come dangerously close.
Did I mention during those after-school Tool sessions, my singing sounded as if Tarzan stubbed his toes, as I failed horribly and hilariously, my pubescent throat getting choked and my voice cracking in even the normal parts of their songs? Did I mention that I did not give a fuck? Tool was this first example of a thing produced by humans for an artistically illiterate dumbfuck like me, which was so stylistically and substantively charged that I could not help but get drawn into it. Eventually, it inspired me to do my own thing. And even though I still can't dance like Maynard, I spend my days dreaming. which is why I'm painting this today. This painting is called Long-Necked Bomb Heads, and it is, among many other things, an homage to Tool, and they're amazingly horrifying, surreal, and at times transcendental music videos, album art, and imagery. Although I don't have the drugs they were shooting up their assholes yet, I spend my days trying to make art, not to give myself an enema. Don't worry, my asshole is still intact. For now. Hicks, one of the greatest comedians of all time, was a big fan of Tool. They were also pretty close. So much so that they used one of his famous bits in their songs, which is one of my favorite songs, by the way. Hicks and Tool tackle the same subject matter through their comedy and music. But the most inspiring part of their creativity, to me, was just the sheer fact that someone could be that obsessive. Someone could push it that far. Or, as Hicks said,
Yes! Yes! Play from your fucking heart! I am available for children's parties, by the way.
Hi, I'm Riddle. I paint, I code, I animate, and sometimes when I'm feeling real goofy, I make bad financial decisions by making a YouTube channel with unmonetizable content. Now, this may surprise you, but this is not my true form. I just had a bad haircut and got a bad case of fucking chickenpox out of all things. Contracted it somehow. So if any one of y'all piss me off, all I have to do is just touch you, and the next thing you know, your mother's unvaccinated balls are itching. Chuck Palahniuk talked about writing about the moment after which everything was different. So that's what I wanted to do with this video. Did I mention I love sci-fi? A while ago I realized there are only a couple of decades I'm gonna be on this planet, knowing what being a human is about. So I decided to make this YouTube channel. Copium, I know. Not good at it, I know that too. But what greater joy than to be terrible at the right thing. Did I mention I love sci-fi? I am deeply passionate about culture, art, games, and the process of creation. And that's what I wanted to share with this YouTube thing. I mentioned I love sci-fi, right? A while ago, I also realized YouTube was the first creative thing I did online, around 12 years back. So yeah, I was just running around in circles this whole time. You know Ouroboros, right? The snake eating its own ass or whatever. Yeah, that. I don't know if that's an apt metaphor, but you get the point. Who knew I would be doing the same thing I left 12 freaking years ago? And well, this is the first time in a long time I feel creatively challenged. And your boy's loving the pain and the handbag in. Anyway, sub please. Bye my friends. See ya. Bye bye.